alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I hope you're having a wonderful Ramadan so far. Today we're going to have a beautiful story about one of the most amazing women in the history of the world. Thousands and thousands of years ago, about 700 years before the birth of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, there lived a woman named Hannah. Hannah was a very wonderful woman, and she wanted Allah to grant her a child that she can raise to serve Allah. So her and her husband Amran, who was also a very amazing man, prayed for Allah to send them a child. And Allah heard their calls and graced them with a beautiful girl named Maryam. Although this beautiful girl was adorable, Hannah was a bit disappointed because she wanted a baby boy. You know, back then, during the time of Jerusalem, in such a small village, people were used to the fact that if someone's going to work for the service of Allah, it would be a man. But Allah accepted Maryam, and with His blessings, she grew up to be one of the most pious and spiritual and wonderful women in the history of the world. As Maryam grew older and became more and more devout to Allah, and the worshippers and priests saw how much she worked for the sake of Allah and only for Allah, they were very impressed by her. So they began to throw sticks, and whoever stick was chosen would be the person to take care of Maryam, because they were arguing over who gets to raise and take care of this wonderful, wonderful lady. And so when they threw the sticks, her uncle, Prophet Zakaria alayhi salam, kept being chosen. And so they decided that who is more better to take care of Maryam than her own uncle. And so Prophet Zakaria alayhi salam took care of Maryam and kept her under his wing and her care. Whenever Prophet Zakaria would go to check on Maryam to see how she's doing, he would find with her a lot of blessed fruits. And he would ask her, Maryam, how do you have these fruits? They're not even in season right now. She would have watermelons in winter, which was impossible. And she would tell him, this food is from Allah. He gives without measure to whomever He pleases. He would just give her and give her and give her because she was such a blessed person, mashallah, tabarakallah. And so Maryam continued to amaze the people around her with all of her miracles that Allah would send her because of how pious she was and how spiritual she was. See, it's so empty and there's no form of entertainment, but she found all her joy in this empty place because she would spend her time in dhikr and prayer and worship, and Allah blessed her with fruits from nowhere, from Allah. She didn't bring them, her uncle didn't give them to her, Allah sent them to her with His mercy, subhanallah. One day, when Sayyidah Maryam alayhi salam was worshipping in her prayer area, Allah sent her an angel in the form of a human man. And when she saw him, she was a little scared. She told him, "May the merciful defend me from you. If you fear the Lord, leave me alone and go your way." And so he answered her, "O Maryam, I am the messenger of your Lord, and I have come to announce you the gift of a holy son." Maryam was surprised. "How could I have a son? I was never touched by anyone. I've been in my prayer room all this time, alone." The angel told her, "This is what Allah wants. He is going to bless you with a son." So Maryam understood that this is one of Allah's miracles, and Allah chose her to give birth to this miracle. So Maryam later gave birth to this son, whom Allah had already named as Isa ibn Maryam, Jesus the son of Mary, al-Masih. And after she gave birth, she was, as a woman, of course she would be tired and all of her energy was drained. So Allah told her, "Maryam, shake this palm tree that you're leaning on and the dates will fall onto you." Subhanallah. Do you know how hard it is for someone to get dates from a palm tree? But Allah blessed her with the ability just gently shake it and the dates will come to you from Allah. Subhanallah. Later, after she gave birth, she carried her son Isa alayhi salam, and she went to her people. And her people were surprised and shocked. "Maryam, how did you give birth? You're not married." But she didn't say anything. She just pointed at her son, Isa alayhi salam, and Allah sent yet another miracle by a little baby boy talking. And he said, I am the servant of Allah. He has given me the book and made me a prophet. His blessings is upon me wherever I go, and He has commanded me to be steadfast in prayer and give alms to the poor as long as I shall live. He has made me kind and dutiful towards my mother. He has rid me of any arrogance and wickedness. I was blessed the day that I was born, and blessed I shall be on the day of my death, and may peace be upon me on the day when I shall be raised to life.
والسلام علي يوم ولدت ويوم أموت ويوم أبعث حيا.
When the villagers heard that, they didn't question Maryam alayhi salam any further, because they knew that this was a clear miracle from Allah. As Prophet Isa grew older, Allah gave him a number of other miracles. He was able to mold a bird out of clay, and with Allah's blessings and power, this clay bird, subhanallah, it would turn into a real bird and it would fly. Subhanallah, all with the power of Allah. Allah also blessed him with the ability to give sight to the blind. He was able to cure diseases of the skin, and he also raised the dead to life. Can you imagine? Subhanallah, all with the power of Allah. But even though he had all of these amazing, clear miracles and signs from Allah, the people of Israel, they still rejected him. And they accused him of being a wizard. They accused him of committing magic, which is a grave sin, astaghfirullah. Only a handful of his friends responded to his prayers, to his calls, and they said, "We will be the helpers of Allah." One day, these friends of Sayyidina Isa asked him if he could ask Allah to send them down a table spread filled with food from the heavens. Prophet Isa told them, "Fear Allah. If you are true believers, fear Him. Don't ask for too much." But they insisted, and so Allah graced them and answered Prophet Isa alayhi salam's prayers and sent them down a wonderful table full of food. And that was yet another unique miracle, and still some of them did not believe. Isa alayhi salam continued his mission for several years, but only a few of his people answered his calls. The Banu Israel wanted to crucify him, they wanted to kill him, but Allah saved him, and instead they killed someone who looked like him, which was yet another miracle of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. See, you can imagine that a table spread like this, can you imagine? Allah sent it down with His angels, with food from the heavens, and still some of them disbelieved. Thank you for watching this story, and I hope you enjoyed it. Today's questions are: 1. Where did Prophet Isa live and where did he grow up? What was the place called? And what are 3 of Sayyidina Isa's miracles alayhi salam? Did you know that there's actually a surah in the Quran named Surah Maryam, dedicated to this amazing woman? Subhanallah. I really hope you enjoyed today's story, and Assalamu alaikum. I look forward to seeing you guys next time.